And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God.
Alright, I'm just going to get straight to the point. I had this vision about 2 years ago. I was in the living room with my mother, and I think I got up from the couch from the living room. And when I started to look out of the window, I noticed that our windows were boarded up. And I looked out the window, and there was a airplane, a military airplane, a Chinese airplane in the sky. This airplane was dropping missiles all over the United States and destroying the major cities of the United States. In addition to that, the Russian army was with them. I remember looking outside in terror. Oh my goodness, we're being attacked. And my mom was just like, her exact words, well, what are we gonna do? People basically started to board up their windows, in fear, and they came, the Russian army and the Chinese army came upon us like in a surprise attack. We had no idea they were coming at all. The US military wasn't even prepared for something like this. I didn't see any US military fighting back. It was a sneak attack, a surprise attack, and they had no time to respond. It came upon us so quickly. And then the Russian army, they started to take over the streets of New York, and they set a curfew in the streets of New York. You couldn't be outside at a certain time anymore. What I found very interesting about what they were doing was they were marching in the streets of New York City. They were doing this march that they would do like when they would have like shows of the army. I don't know how to explain it, but when they try to show their military strength, kind of like when China or North Korea does that whole big old parade thing where they walk around and march. But the Russian army was doing it in the New York City streets, and they took over. For some reason, they had a lot of women in the army too. I don't know if that's a thing in Russia, but they had a large amount of women in the army. I remember going on one of the rooftops, looking at them marching in the street. It was just such a sign of power and complete disrespect to the United States. Their whole demeanor and their intention was completely to just shame us and to make us feel beneath them and just show complete power over us. I was on this rooftop and I saw a woman in the Russian army, and she was telling me, go back in your home. You need to go back inside. Go back inside. With just like, like not even like in a way of trying to help me, but in a demanding way. Many women in their army. So much women. I believe the reason why they had so much women in their army is because they probably were secretly like drafting a bunch of people to attack us. Excuse me. So they were drafting a bunch of people to attack us, And this attack was very planned out. It was extremely planned out. There was a lot of calculation behind it. You could tell it was planned out for a very long time. And what I got from this dream as well is that the relationship between the Chinese government and the Russian government is very, very strong, more than the U.S. perceives it to be. Their relationship is a bond together, that they're banding together to plan to take over the U.S. and to destroy it. I don't even really feel that they wanted to take over it. Maybe I misspoke there. It was a show of power, a show of might, and complete disrespect. Just complete disrespect. I guess it was just America's day. I don't know. But there was a lot of sneakiness going on with Russia and China. They have an extremely strong relationship, and I feel like they actually meet together in secret. This two army, they meet together in secret. Vladimir Putin is a very sinister character. Very sinister. And that whole thing about North Korea, what's going on there, I believe this is a catalyst to that situation, because there was a situation where the U.S. was really concerned about things that are going on in North Korea. And China told the United States, if you attack North Korea, we're going to back them up. We're going to basically attack you. China at this point, they don't need us. They're becoming one of the world's biggest superpowers over the United States. Their currency is trampling the United States currency. Their currency is worth more at this point. But they don't need us at this point, because now they're taking over. They're becoming the superpower. So their intention is to be over the United States and to take that role. Take the role from the United States as the largest superpower. So when they made that statement that if we attack them, they're going to back up North Korea, and then they said, well, if North Korea attacks the United States, we'll back the United States. Lies. It's a complete lie. If that was to happen, if North Korea was to attack us, they would have used it as an opportunity. China's president is a sinister character, just like Putin, just like Vladimir Putin, the two kings from the Bible. Just be watchful. Be mindful of these two characters. I didn't see anything else about North Korea. I didn't see anything about them. They did a complete takeover. I don't know what their plan was, but it seems like China's plan was to use the military force of the nuclear force to just destroy, and Russia was hitting the ground. They were doing all of the groundwork, shutting down homes, telling people to go inside their homes. People didn't want to come outside. The whole earth looked desolate. It just looked so desolate. New York looked like a third world country at that point. Many people were in their homes. They know what was going on, the bombings, but they wouldn't even dare come outside. They wouldn't dare. And then the uniforms that they were wearing was very particular in my dream. The Russian army, they had this uniform, like old, very old-timey uniform, with this painter's hat looking like a dark royal red color. So much women in their army. Jesus is coming back. All us Christians, we got to keep watch. Just know that China and Russia, those two countries are in cahoots, and they're plotting against us. They're very, very secretive. Their relationship together is stronger than the relationship that they individually have with the United States, and that's a problem. Let's seek God. Let's seek God, the saints. Let's seek him because only he can take us out of this. Only he. Only he can save us. I don't know if it's just our hour. May the Lord bless you all.